Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Um, in today's lecture, we'll be discussing the graded activities. These activities were assigned to the students of advanced statistical modeling. And the students were given three models to estimate and then interpret their results. Each of these models includes the dummy variables as independent variables, and the dependent variable is quantitative in nature. The models are basically a mix of dummy variables and quantitative variables, both sides. For example, in model one, experience is the quantitative variable, wage is the quantitative variable, and educations are of different categories. For example, EDUC2 indicates the higher secondary school level of education. The other education categories are then considered or assigned as zero. The education category 3 is of the graduation level. Education category 4 is for MSc and the higher level. Education category 1 is used as a reference category. So therefore, for the purpose of analysis, primary education category will be, which is EDUC, one will be considered as a reference category, and all the other categories coefficients will be compared with that. So this is how the different categories have been defined. In model one, we include experience and the three categories of the education. The fourth one is used as a reference point. And in model two, we are considering all the dummy variables on the right hand side of the equation. For example, education with three categories: primaries, higher secondary, and then the graduation level and the MSc level. The primary is used as a reference category. That is why you cannot find EDUC one category in this equation, because if we include all the categories, that creates the problem of dummy variable trap. Male again is the gender. It indicates gender. If gender is assigned code 1, that is for male, 0 is for female. Urban, if the employee or the worker belongs to the urban area, and if he or she belongs to the rural area, then his code is 0. So this is, and the third model includes uh, an interaction terms of the qualitative variables. For example, each of the education category has been multiplied with male. Education again is dummy variable, and male is also a dummy variable. Male again, as I mentioned earlier, male is equal to 1, or the gender is equal to 1 for male category and 0 is for female category. Now the required is the students were given different data set. The data set was mostly given from Econometrics books written by Asterio and Hall, including the sample of 935 individuals, or the working class or the workers. Now, in the first video, we will be recording this video in three parts. In first part of the video, I have estimated model number 1, which includes experience, three categories of education, and the fourth one is omitted from the model because that is used as a reference category. How did I estimate this model? I use eViews software and estimated this model 1. This model 1 equation is this one, and when I estimated the result, the output are indicated like this. So results, these results have been copied and pasted here. I will interpret keeping all these results on the screen. I will be interpreting all of these results. The viewers are requested to focus on the number which I will be speaking out and will be interpreting. So, for example, now starting with the interpretation, the intercept coefficient, which is 509.38, the probability of which is 0.00, which is less than 1%, or which is generally considered as less than 5%, which represents the base wage for an employee with primary education, which was coded at EDUC1, and 0 and zero work with the zero work experience. Now coming to the experience, EXPER coefficient, the coefficient of experience is 17.59, again with the probability of less than 5%, highly significant. So each additional year of work experience increases the wages of the employees, whether it is male, female. Each additional year of work experience increases wages by 17.59, or rounding it off 17.60 units, holding other variables constant. Now moving on to the levels of education, where primary education is used as a reference point. So each education category's incomes or earning or wages will be compared with the primary education category income or earning. Now, employees with secondary education earn 122.01 dollars more than those with the primary education, and the primary education category was earning $509.38. So when you add it up, so the education category second with secondary level is earning 509 plus 122, so it makes around 600 and 630, more than 630 US dollar. So education category number 3, which is bachelor level, the coefficient value is 310.80, probability again less than 5%, which indicates the highly significant results. The employees with bachelor's degree earn $310.80 more than those with the primary education. The primary education category was earning $509.38. So when we add it up, so it makes more than $820. So the workers with education bachelor's is earning on the average 600, 500, 509 plus 310, which makes more than 800 US dollar on the average for the education category bachelor's level. And the workers with education category masters or above are earning 473.39 US dollar more than the primary, which is the reference category, primary level education. So on the average, the workers with education master's level are earning on the average more than 509 plus 473. It makes more than 900 US dollar. If we look at the R square with the model fitness indicates R square, which is 0.1284, but we will be considering adjusted R square because right-hand side of the equation includes more than one variables. So it matters, the degree of freedom matters here a lot. So just looking at the adjusted R square values, which is 0.1246, so which indicates that 12.46 percent of the variation in wages is explained by the variables included in the model, and the remaining proportion, which makes around 88% or 87 point around percent variation in the wages is due to the other factors which have not been considered for this model, which need to be considered, that because the number 12.46 is quite low, and that recommends the inclusion of more variables for the determinants as determinants of wages. So general findings and the key insights from the results of this model number 1 are, for example, the key findings, key insights will be around work experience, education, model performance, and practical implications. So when we talk about the work experience significantly and positively influences the wages, with each year adding approximately 17.59 units to an employee's wages. Education, higher levels of education result progressively large wage promises or wage premium, or the wage earning, whatever terminology can be used. The workers with the education level 2, which is secondary, are earning their wages increase at the rate of 122.0901 US dollar, and the workers with bachelor level of education are likely to earn $310 more than the primary education level, and the highest education level, which is masters and above, are likely to earn $473 more than the primary education category, which is a reference category. So the higher the education, the higher the level of earning according to this model. But unfortunately, this does not apply to the developing economies like Pakistan, where higher education earning is not necessarily associated with the large earning. But there are certain cases where higher education, highly qualified people earn a lot. Model performance, the second insight. While the variables included in the model are education and experience, they are statistically significant. The model has a lower R square, relatively low R square, recommending the inclusion of more variables from industry, occupation, gender, location, etc., in order to explain the variation in wages in a better way. Practical implications now, policies promoting higher education and skill building through work experience can significantly improve earnings potential in the country. Autocorrelation in the model, we have not yet discussed it, but we will be discussing it in the other videos. You can also watch my videos related to the autocorrelation on my channel. Thank you with these words. In second part of the video, we'll be discussing model 2 and its estimation, interpretation, and practical implications. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.